Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live. If you are stepping in on the original air date, which is going to be for Tuesday, I want to say April the, I want to say, what is it, April the 19th, I think, 2022, if it's the original air date that you are stepping on, here at The Real Bloom from Within Love. I go by Bloomy. Any and everything that you need to know about me should be listed in the description box. And to all of you, new or old, that comes here on High Vibe Positive Vibes, and you have contributed positive energy, thoughts, comments, likes, shares, subscribes, as well as any donations or anything that you have contributed personally to the channel. I just want to say thank you. I actually do appreciate you all. You all are why, or should I say, one of my whys as to what I do with Bloom from Within Love and what keeps me doing what I do for Bloom from Within Love. Now, as about this little mini live, as you guys see, as a part of my journey, I have felt more and more guided and inspired to share my personal story, and a beautiful reader that I am more and more inspired by. And, I think I'm going to start, like, I already share her links in my videos, but I share different ones. But there's one in particular that has really confirmed, I feel like, I know that we're different, and I may not believe everything the way she do and vice versa, but the heart and the vibration and the gist of what we believe and the paths that we have taken are very, very similar. And she believes in, she has suffered a lot from narcissistic abuse. And she also resonates as a Hyoka empath. Okay. But she is one that has inspired me to speak out more and more, because when you are on these journeys and you have been bounty hunted, and you have crazy, weird dynamics, it's imperative, because they often operate in secret societies and ops, and sometimes it's in your family and different things like that, and sneakily and literally trying to take you out, okay, energetically, physically, in every way. So it's important to share. Some may, not necessarily agree, but you'll be surprised. Like she said, you'll end up saving your life, because she tells stories about where shit ended up coming out and so forth. And so, the FBI, governments, everything is not corrupt. There is some corruption, but when you are in alignment, your spirit guides start bringing in the high vibrational version of this, so that all of the spells and the things that these lower vibrational beings and folks are operating in to try to cast spells, confusion, delays in the judicial system, law, and all of that, investigations won't really be able to contain. Okay, so that's another reason, because just think about it. If you run away in silence and you got raped and you never said nothing, and you just try to keep running and running, you never said anything to anybody, if they manage to, catch you and something happens, it's like nothing ever happens. You never said anything. So it's like the speaking out creates, something to where it's not going to be that easy. And then they'll start tracing, even if they manage to get a level of success in getting to you or hurting you or something. And so it's imperative that you just do it and don't worry about, let the people talk, let the people say you're paranoid, let the people do that, because, unfortunately, some of them are a part of things. And those that aren't, they're just blind. And then things start to eventually happen in their lives and stuff when it's too late. Okay, because they wanted to be blind, or they just stayed blind to things and didn't know why they were being affected in a certain way. Okay. And it's also to liberate and to share, with the collective. So if you're on similar paths and you got platforms and things like that, is to bring confirmation that you're not crazy, okay, first and foremost, and then to continue to empower others. It's like that speak out energy, from the energetic world and the ascension world, the conscious ascension community, if you will. I know some disagree and say not to feed into, and we shouldn't. I believe, you guys, I honestly believe it's like it's a balance. It's a fine line, a balancing act. Because I do think at some point you need to be able to just live your life. You need to keep moving forward and not really be feeding much of your energy, time, and a focus into low vibrational beings, energy, people who don't like you, yada, yada, because it's still attention. But we have to kind of take that with a grain of salt and wisdom, because if there's weird things happening and this could possibly be life or death, or this is about, people breaking the law and committing fraud and stealing from you and doing these things, if you're not saying anything, and then something comes up and they have used your name, they have used your children's name, they have signed your name, they have done these things, you haven't done your part with sharing, it makes it more challenging as well. This is what I'm talking about, okay? So please take that with wisdom and balance and so forth, okay? And yeah, so that's kind of why, and hopefully y'all get something out of that, blah, blah, blah. I get the question all the time, on this kind of path, could they possibly be a false twin? Could they be a false twin? How are you sure? How are you 100% absolutely positively sure? 100 absolute positively sure. The answer is this: whoever is in this life is something that plays out. But I'm going to tell you why I said, yes, they could be false. And let me explain what I mean by that and why am I saying that. I remember when I first started dating my ex, okay? The first time. So this is way, way, way back when I first started dating him, okay? He was at my house and he had spent the night, and so he was laying next to me. We were asleep, but then I kind of woke up and we were watching TV as we fell asleep. We were watching something on Netflix or something like that. And it was this show I used to watch, and I can't remember the name of this show, you guys, but it was something to do with like, I want to say it was Netflix. It had to be Netflix, but I don't think it's on anymore. It was something to do with like this witch family. And this witch had two daughters that were witches. And and it, they traveled in time and came, they kept being reborn and so forth. And then there was like these warlock families that they were connected to. And it was just a weird saga to the story. So one of the situations with one of the sisters is she had someone that she really loved and someone that, the family communities expected her to be with, that she thought she was going to be with. Then found out one of them was a dark warlock. They were brothers. And they ended up doing some weird spell at the end because the brothers were at odds with each other. It was some weird shit. But they were all witches and warlocks, okay? But one of them wasn't quite well. They were jealous, envious, and power hungry, and, felt threatened and, didn't like to lose and was upset and all that. So one of the brothers did a cloaking spell, did a switch, okay? In other words, they put the soul, I'm not saying that this is fully possible, but it is to a degree, not your soul, okay, but like the appearance, the energy, okay? So anyway, they switched the soul of themselves into the body of one brother and then vice versa, the one that I got imprisoned. So the one that I got imprisoned in the physical was the one that one of these daughter witches actually loved. Okay, it was her true love. And they kept having issues getting together. It kept being one thing in another, lifetime after the lifetime. And they were finally trying to come together. So the other witch brother or warlock brother that had an issue with that and fall, and it was just crazy. So he switched, and I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, guys. So bear with me because I'm trying to prove a point about these things, how from the energy perspective, how they could cloak and hide. It goes both ways. You guys already heard me talk about how my sister did it. Okay. How she did mirror magic to cloak in my energy, right? You guys hear me talk about that over and over. I even have a poem about karmic energy. And so that can go the same for karmic masculine energy. Okay. Now let's just play with this. Okay. Please don't stress yourself out. This is not to make you afraid. So, what you're hearing from me, take with some discernment and take to your own spirit guides, higher self, whatever your team and practices are to help you if you're unclear. But don't allow yourself to stress and flip out and freak out, okay? Because essentially, if you stay on the right path, they're going to make sure that you get to it and you see it clearly, okay? When you're not able to. So you don't have to be afraid. Just understand that these things do happen. So it's all a tactic of stall delay. And here's why. Because some of you may say, well, what's the point of that for us? Like in the show, it was because there was vengeance and he wanted one of them stuck. So he felt like he had to cloak his energy so that he could go and get, what he wanted to get. And I think he was going to either try to kill her because he was pissed because she had broken up with him or some shit like that. But so the only way he can do it is to cloak his energy and to make her feel like he was the one that she was truly loved, but he wasn't. It was just in the body. So this is essentially why this may happen to you. It happens to us in this lifetime. I heard a reader say the other day, the movies tells more truth about life than other things that we think tells the truth about life. And I've seen this play out, and I'm starting to see it play out more and more. Okay. So the reason why something like this could possibly happen, you guys, is because I told you guys about my karmic family. I told you guys about my sister and how she was in the past life and how she was a lunatic, how she lost her mind, how she wasn't well to begin with. But when something happened in the past life, either in the insane asylum and connected to the twin flame journey, she flipped. I think she tried some fatal attraction shit. You know what I'm saying? And could have possibly killed me. Could have possibly killed the twin. Something happened, ended in some kind of a tragedy, put her in an insane asylum, and she died in that way in the previous life. So the reason why this stuff happens is sometimes they'll follow us into the next lifetime, but only in a different capacity. It may be in the form of they come in as your family, okay, to make it harder, or to see if you're going to learn the lesson of whatever that was and to see if they're going to learn a lesson. But they'll come in the form of family. They'll come in the form of a lover or whatever. And it's to do the same thing. It's to get you confused. It's to get revenge. It's to get you, stalled, delayed, to get you to not be able to connect with your actual twin. This is why something like that would happen. Because check it out. Why would in a past life, my sister, being a lunatic, she thought in this past life that she was a twin. So there was an obsession that was developed, right? Okay. So this can happen in whether it is the masculine or feminine. If they're in that lunatic energy, okay, then they could cloak and do these things spiritually, okay, to make themselves appear, because guess what? I talked about how my ex, how he got convinced and so forth. So the answer to the question is yes. Okay. Absolutely. And that includes my ex. Yep. And some may say, well, how do you feel about that if you thought that they were your twin and, you had all these things and they had a past life? Listen, just like I didn't understand why my family, my sisters, and my mother was doing the things they were doing to me. I didn't understand. It didn't make sense. It didn't line up. It was mixed signals, mixed energies, and all of those things. Just like that, that applies to anything. And if a person is a high level witch or warlock and practitioner, as someone is, unbeknownst, because let me tell you something, some of the things my ex told me when we were dating, okay, he would slip up and say, because I was trying to tell him, I was like, you have no idea who I am. When weird shit would happen and I would be like, man, you don't have no idea who I am. And he was like, you don't have no idea who I am, right? And he was like, I'm the devil. Like, he'll say stupid stuff. And then he would say, I'm the devil. And that's why, this is why you like me, or something like that, or just weird shit. And I would be like, what does he mean by that? And he would joke about how he knew about spells and to draw a pendulum on the ground and to do this and that, and how he knew people who were into it or whatever like that. And I was like, I thought he was just saying something to mess with me or to try to prove a point. Cause I was like, I ain't into that. I don't know if he think that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I could, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know I got the power to do some things, but I was like, why is he going there? And, he would say that, stuff like that here and there. He was like, that's why you like me. So I think he thought that's why I liked him or whatever, because of the spells. But the point that I'm making is because, like, if you ended up crossing somebody that was a dark warlock and dealt with friends and people that are like that, that use this stuff to energy harvest, to manifest, energy harvest to manifest. So this is why they're in the Knight of Wands. And this is why the women, when they have a group of witch covens, this is why they would allow it, okay? As well as the men that they could have been dealing with as well, okay? This is why they allow it, because if they know who you are, especially, so they target divines, they try to cast spells on people. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know what the get down is with people like that. They do love spells and sex magic. And so they go about targeting divines, trying to cast spells on them to make them think that they're the twin or their soulmate or whatever lingo they feel like the person may open up to, so that they can come in and energy harvest and then go back and give it to more of the karmic wars, to go back and give it to their dark witch covens, to go back and give it to the other warlocks, their groups, so that they can manifest, okay? This is how they harvest and manifest their money. This is how they're manifesting, being able to do things. So they essentially live their lives like that secretly. So they live in a Knight of Wands energy, but it's so that they could harvest energy from divine women and divine men, and to go back and give it to these karmic dark witch covens and groups and, people who are cool with threesomes, 30somes, and all sorts of things. So in order to do that, because some of them want divine energy, and they know that the only way they're going to even be able to get to divine energy, okay, is to cloak themselves as what? Divine. They know that that's the only way. So they'll try to go in and out. give no closure, keep those people in limbo, wondering, thinking, so that they can still play in their energy, so that they can come back, so that they can go in and out, so that they can then go back and, feed it to their dark witch coven. Okay? Yeah, this stuff is real. Yeah. So what has to happen, see, what will happen for you if you're on a divine path, they're going to get exposed. Your guys are going to make sure, that's why I said, don't be afraid. Okay? They're going to make sure that enough space and enough time and enough healing, if you're on your journey and if you're really diligent about that, even if you're confused, even if there's a lot of cloaking energy in the energy world, then they're going to allow that so that all of this comes to full light, okay? And it's exposed and then it's broken. So they'll try to hide your true counterpart. Like I said, in the TV show, they hid the real counterpart and essentially not able to pick the real counterpart up in the energy world, right? There's some kind of a cloaking so that they could be thought of as the one. Now, these people, I'm telling you guys right now, they are lunatics. And I think what happened is, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know for sure entirely, for all that are involved here. But I really think that what happens is you could have been dealing with a group of people that were in an insane asylum together. Okay. Or somehow ended up in some type of an insane asylum or crazy, something like that, screws are loose. And they could have gotten either put in an institution or, depending, and then they died and then they came back to seek a vengeance to take your life, take your children's life, take your resources and all of that. And they know that the only way they can do it is to cloak their energy. Okay. Yes. Yep. So this is why, because you guys may be scratching your head, like, who does that? Like, who does that? I was scratching my head initially when I was dealing with, the stuff that first started to happen with me and my ex. Even before I knew he was dealing with my sister. But now it makes a whole lot of sense because neither of them, gone. They're gone. Okay? They're gone. And, there are always situations to where it's like, okay, was it a twin? And then they come to awaken. And okay, sure, that's also possible, guys. But let me tell you something. Your life is still, you're to go forward in life. If it was indeed truth, just like I seen in the past life reading for the collective, just like you guys saw, then they come full circle, okay? They come full circle. So you're not to really be stuck on that, right? That's a tactic. It's a tactic to keep your energy in limbo, to keep you energetically in limbo. So just ask your guides and then wait and just keep living and ask, that anyone that is coming in false energy, you could put up an intention that they're blocked. Even if you're not clear, you can put up an intention, have them exposed. You can put up an intention and just ask, but you don't need to. I don't want you guys to stress and fear. That's not where I'm going. I'm just trying to expose and shine light that, yep, my twin could actually have been a false twin. This could be why I see double energies all the time in my personal stuff. And I'll be like, what the hell is this? I tell you, I'll be scratching my head. I'll be like, what the hell is this? Why is there... I'll have a divine masculine to the second power energy, right? Which could very well be the real twin. You see where I'm going? The divine masculine to the second power, in my case, could actually be the real twin. But this is why it's important for us to kind of surrender that to our higher self and our spirit guides and light team to make clear as we walk our paths and always keeping those intention, no matter if you believe they're a twin flame or not. Okay, because they could astral travel, they could project, they could do all these things and plan energy, especially if, like I said, they're a dark, wizard, Satanist, Luciferianism. They practice these things secretly to get energy because they can't create. If they're narcissistic, toxic, you know what I'm saying, gone, they can't create. They energy harvest. They need the womb, the energy of the womb of women. Okay. This is why my sister was that sick in the head and, was like still was dealing with him and telling him to do this and that. And when we got back together, he kept wanting to know when I was going to have sex with him. And you know what I'm saying? Because they don't, first and foremost, their low self-esteem, they don't give a fuck. They're just trying to create. They use the energy to create their fake shit they got and the shit they stole. And I'll go deeper into that as time, as I'm guided. Okay. And yeah. And you'll feel like you're getting sick or weird shit is because they're tapping into your energy. I could feel people playing in my energy. I know when they're playing in their energy. And I asked my guys to execute the highest judgment for all of them. I sure did. And I meant all of them. I said every last one of them. Bring it forward, every last one of them in their groups, every last one of them that knew about it and partook with it and benefited from it. Things they did to my son, they tied him up in the energy world. They pulled his sexual energy to create. Yes, that's sick. But these are people that are lunatics. And so individuals that don't believe in this, they'll come and hear stuff like this and go, she crazy, she tripping. You could think that if you want to and get close to these people I'm telling you about. Get close enough. Get close enough. And start looking and watching. Look past the illusions of, the things that they have managed to steal and create. Get close enough. Okay? And start watching, but be careful because they're putting spells on you so that you can't see through to the truth and so they can steal from you too. So they can have you to have sympathy on them and to give them shit and all kinds of stuff. Okay? And this is why they usually pose as Captain and Miss America and why they pose as, church going folks and stuffs on the 3D because, they want to appear, they want to go and get people who are trying to be pure and clean and, upstanding, loving and kind citizens of society. And so this is why they wear those uniforms. And this is why, you see what I'm saying? Y'all's got to get over thinking that people are going to say, here, I'm a warlock gone crazy. I was a lunatic, mind gone, narc, here to take your, it's just not going to happen. And I want to say this, you guys, this is what makes it simple for me. At some point, things come full circles for twins. They do. Okay. When they start truly awakening and healing and ascending, things, even if they partook in that type of stuff, like anything else, they awaken, they heal, they change, they transform, they clear their energy, they cut this, they cut that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a part of the path. They learned the lesson, they shift, blah, blah, blah. And that too will come out in the wash. That too, if that is indeed true. Because at some point they're going to be guided, okay, to do the right thing. They're not going to still be playing games 2 and 3 years later. They're not going to be, still trying to play in your energy and trying to, make them come to me spells for you to come chase them and worry about them. And you know what I'm saying? To come fight for them or look for them. And they're not going to still be doing that stuff. If they're doing that stuff, guess what? Over time, year after year after year, chances are it's a high possibility. I'm not saying it's everybody, okay? Because I understand that this journey is different for everybody. And the length of time, there's no cookie cut stamp. But there's a high probability that they're a false, trying to cloak in that just to stagnate your life. You guys have heard me talk about no matter what path you're on, no one is here to live a stagnated life. That is a robbery to your path and journey. So whether you think they're the legit one or not, it was never meant that way. But the time, we're to be healing and cleansing and clearing. And I believe in my case, I had to get away from all of these people because they were using and harvesting me and my son's energy. Okay. My family, that place, my ex, all of that. Okay. And, they like to come in and trauma bond to keep you in this cycle, trauma bond to keep you in this cycle. Notice why, just start noticing how narcissists do that. Okay, this is why someone died and then all of a sudden your narcissistic family want to call you and go, hey, they died. They want to trauma bond and feed off energy. Okay, to keep you in a loop, to keep feeding off, because they have nothing. They have nothing except what they get from spell casting and harvesting other people's energy, resources, time, attention, money through spells and sex. Okay? Through spells and sex. Through blood rituals and sacrifices. And so if they know you're the divine and you have somebody obsessed with you, like I do in the case of my sister, they want to be able to keep accessing that to go back and feed it, because if she don't care, she's a dark witch anyway. So they can keep doing their fuck shit, right? She knows he's a whore. She wasn't blind and oblivious to his lifestyle and behavior. But it was all about, we can go about casting spells and getting shit. Okay, that's how that shit initially started. And since they saw the benefits of it on the surface, they became addicted to it. But unfortunately, what they didn't understand is when they did this stuff to me and my son, and continued to do this stuff to me and my son, and Bloom from Within Love, that this was going to come with a heightened penalty that was going to creep up on them. This is why the first time me and my ex broke up, something happened to him, and he probably don't even realize that, or didn't realize that at the time. Okay. When we hooked back up, he had this big old huge knot on his face, on the left side of his face. That was a tumor. Okay. That he thought was cancerous. So it could have been about, go back and hook up with her so she can heal you, and we can harvest some more energy, and then, you can dump her, and then, we can go back to what we were doing. Okay. But he was dumb enough, he didn't realize it was because, first of all, you coming against the divine feminine, you finna to pay. Everything that you're sending to her is going to show up on your body, your life, your whole get down. And it's not because I'm doing it, it's because you are, right? Because you're casting that shit towards her. Okay. And the very person that they were laying with, that's what they didn't know. Okay. Was doing that shit, attachments, and anytime probably they would fight or, leave, or because that's the chaotic life of, karmics, especially toxic dark ones. They fight and fucking fight. And if they're a dark witch and mad and obsessive, make him sick, make him ugly, make their penis not work, like all of that weird, stupid shit. And that's the way they live, y'all. Y'all can believe the hype if you want to. I'm gonna tell you now. But if anybody's wondering why did I get the fuck away from all these people, is because I and my son experienced suffrage from their weird, toxic dark society practices and witchery, okay, as they go to church and sing hallelujah and pray, and as they give donations to charity and do post about how for my birthday I am given $1,000. I would like to contribute. Oh shit! Y'all fall for it. Folks be falling for it. See, this is what I talk about so very much about why people got to get out of the 3D and stop looking at the surface of people's fake acts of kindness and service. Okay. My ex last year tried to post something. That's why I was like, they copying my energy. They're trying to be me. They're obsessed with trying to be me. I'm not stupid. They both were. They both are. Okay. I can't say both at this point. I can say for sure my sister still is. But initially, they both were. Okay. Obsessed with trying to be like me. That's how empty. This is why they need to feed. This is why they stalk and watch so they can cloak and copy. They have nothing. All that they get is by feeding off of others' energy. They have to cast spells. They have to have sex. They have to do rituals and sacrifices and all these things to have, because strip that all away, they have nothing. They're empty. They have attachments. They have a trillion bondages, bad habits, and attachments in their lives. And they become addicted at doing that. They don't care about the lives they hurt. I'm sure other people have already died, those who did not manage to escape from them. Other people have gotten sick and probably put in the hospital or beaten up or weird shit. That's why I tell people, start paying attention to the weird shit that happened to the people that are close to them. This will tell you who they are. Okay? So, you know, back then he had posted something, you know, this was last year, early on last year. I think not long after we had broken up, okay, the second time. Something like, I'm just, you know, trying to keep it 100. And I was like, oh, I remember looking, I was like, 100 fake. 100%, I was like, 100% fake. And then another time he had put something, this is still early on in the breakup, he had put greetings and salutations. You know, you guys know that every time I come on to, if you trace anything Bloom from Within Love has done, and most folks can go back and see how long I've been doing this stuff, okay? And you see that I go on and say greetings and welcome. Now, I'm not saying that I own this statement. A lot of people say it, so I'm not implying that I'm the only one. But you have to learn how to discern energy and what people are doing and why they're doing it. It's the motive, okay? So they didn't think I would be able to create after coming and tampering and harvesting and messing me up. I was supposed to be broken and trying to heal, waiting for him to come back around to apologize or whatever so that he can take some more energy and then they can go create something else. Okay. With my sister amongst the other, you know, karmic horrors and things that, you know, he had going on in his life. Their groups, their special weird polygamies or whatever the fuck they were doing, you know what I'm saying, secretly at that time. Okay. So the answer is yes. Someone that you were sure was your twin could be a false. My suggestions about that: set intentions and continue to ask that all is revealed. Ask that exes, people, whether you think they're twins or not, ask that they're all blocked out of your energy. Ask for discernment about any type of dream work, because these people play around in that a lot, the lucid dreaming, the astral travels, and things like that. Okay. I even told myself, and I told my guides, I said, I said, this all will be revealed. I said, and if it comes to the light, because if you're dealing with lunatics, there's really nothing that they won't do. There's nothing they won't do. It's no length. Okay. To us, we may be going at our rationale. Oh, there's some things, there's some things people just want. Well, not if you're dealing with a dark witch and a dark warlock, lunatics. No, there's nothing. They'll take all of their money and investment to do high level spell work. Okay. All over the world. They'll use all of their resources. Okay. And they don't have any form of ethics. So they don't have a problem with forging documents and signing your name and pretending to be you. Okay. So I told my guys, I said, you know what? If my sister was that far gone and that desperate and so badly wanting to be me to such a degree, and all the shit that's on her energy to such a degree that she would agree to marrying him under my name or some weird shit to try to, I want her energy and I want it, people dumb. And when they're gone, they're gone. When they're gone, they're gone. And family members that's thirsty and desperate and weak and cowardly will sit there and smile as long as they get, a monthly payment of $500 towards their apartment. Oh, shit. Pretend like they don't know what the fuck is going on. Right? And then wondering why their eyes are crossing, feet turning to the inside, all kind of weird shit, because that was a major violation that they have to pay for. Tried to sacrifice me and my son. Now they're going to watch their own lives and everything that matters to them be sacrificed. Stole our destiny, played with blueprints, played in the Akash, switched to try to put their curses and destinies pent onto me and my son to live the lives that's destined for me and my son to live. They're going to pay for every ounce of it. You guys mark my words. Watch. Okay? And all that were collaborating with them to do that. Every last one of them, every witch, every warlock, every church member, every friend, every family member, they're all going to pay for that. They all are. You guys watch. Just keep watching. So, as you all separate your energies from these types of situations, this is where you're being given all of the time, all of the healing, all of the cleansing, and all of the clarity and safety and all the things you need, because you have to recover, right? Then put those blocks and ask your guides to work in the astral, ask your guides to reveal, ask your guides to keep anyone from you, and then to execute judgment instantly on those who try to those who try to violate your energy, your space, or anything like that. Anyone who tries to come in a cloaked energy and insincerity, doing some toxicity, fuck shit, whoever they are, no matter what you think, until all has been exposed until all is clear, until you are healed, until whatever appointed time, and keep living. Keep healing, keep cleansing, keep living. Okay, that's what I want you guys to try and remember. But be open, don't lock yourself down. This is one reason why I tell folks, ain't no such thing as only the one, no matter on these high vibrational journeys or not. That's how I feel. Because everything is a choice. Anything can go to the left with any of us. If I decide that I don't want to do the healing work and journey anymore, okay, it's going to get bad for me, right? If I decide I want to just try to escape and, just go into addictions and just go about, just focusing on the external, fucking everybody to get energy and, just wanting to look a certain way and wanting to appear a certain way and focusing on the 3D. I want to look like I'm successful. I want to look like I'm a caring individual. I want to look like I'm a God-fearing individual. I want to look like I'm an upstanding person. I want to look like I'm a sacrificial person. I want to look like I'm this and that. I want to look like I'm successful. But I'm willing to fuck everybody on earth to do it. I'm willing to do 30-sums to harvest energy. I'm willing to kill and sacrifice family members and whomever else. You will see my demise. You hear what I'm saying? I'm saying that as a confirmation because it's all about life's choices. You can't hide behind a title. That includes me and anyone else that feels like we came here on that kind of journey. It's you have to do the journey. That's the whole thing. You could have came here with it, but you got to do the journey. And at any point, if you decide that's not something you want to do and you opt into the shadow aspects of yourself, you opt into the darker side, and worse yet, if you start tapping into the darker things to survive in life and start tapping into hurting other lives and influencing and doing some weird shit, you will see the destruction of my life and anyone else's. At some point, the witchery and the warlock, the Satan, Lucifer, at some point, that stuff comes full circle, and that's what they never see coming. They never see that coming. It comes full circle. So all of the demons, devils, whatever they're calling on and in their groups and using my hair and blood, and objects and things that they have and creating their altars and all that, is going to shatter in their faces. It's going to fucking explode. All kinds of weird shit is going to keep happening and going to come for them and theirs. So that's why I shook my head, because I said, well, they robbed that. They took that. They violated my son, because see, he's a pure soul and he's not out there fucking around in the Americas. So they looked at him as an energy jackpot because, first of all, they're cowards and weak and sick, because who does that? Because, they don't have nothing. They don't have nothing. I'm telling y'all, they just fuck and fuck and fuck. They didn't use the fuck out of their sacral chakra. So all they can do is go around trying to get some pure energy. And they knew that me and my son's energy is pure. Okay. So this is why I'm calling judgment, and it's already been done. Executing to the full extent of spiritual law and physical law. And so their kids will be affected, their grandkids will be affected, because they tampered and violated me and my son. Their businesses will be affected. Their money will be affected. Their homes will be affected. Their reputation will be affected. Their appearance will be affected, because they tried to tamper with me and my sons. And continue to try. So their groups, these witch doctors, these practitioners, they're getting the same thing. Yep. Their spell to hide and protect them and their family is not working, and it will not work. But unfortunately, the arrogance and the pride of these individuals think that, we're putting it's none of it. It's being stripped. You don't get to do that type of stuff to a divine being and a pure soul and not eventually get your ass whooped in every sense of the word. The time is up. What they did to me and my son will be done to everything in their lives. So, collective, know that justice will prevail and is prevailing, but stay the journey. This is what's going to be your protection, you see. And as you continue to heal more and more and more, everything is going to become more and more clear to you. Okay? Cords extracted, obstacles removed, all of those things. These people are going to self-destruct. Okay? Some of them are going to die as they're on their way trying to kill you. Mark my words. They're going to die as they are on their way trying to kill you. Okay? Because some of them, that's the lot. That's where it's going. They have to be put to rest because they won't stop trying to do all that stuff against you. Some of them are going to die in the car on the way. Or the people that they have hired and all that stuff. Some of these people are going to die, crashes, all sorts of shit while they're on their way trying to come against divines. But they don't see it. So this is going to be towers. You'll later hear about it. Watch. It's going to be towers and towers. And a tower means something that happens suddenly, something that they didn't see coming. So in their arrogance and pride and confidence, they'll just be kind of smugly going about thinking that they're still on top of the game. Some of it's going to be their children in cars, different things like that is going to happen. It's going to hit. Because you don't get to do that. But see, they're lunatics. Only lunatics will be living like that in the first place. But because they're able to hide and cloak in the 3D, they're going about looking like they're regular, normal, healthy, function adult human beings. And people are buying into it until they personally really start getting affected. They used my energy and my son's energy to manifest and then wanted to sacrifice us when it was no longer easily, accessible. And when I moved on and started to heal, that was the plan the whole time. They're going to fry for that. And whoever's doing that to you, collective, if this is a story that you're resonating with in your life, they're frying. They will fry this life. Yup. If they made your child suffer, their children will suffer. If they held up your child, tied up your child, tormented your child, used your child for energy, they'll watch their children suffer and be used and held up and tied up. Or their grandchildren. If they were stealing from you, people are going to steal. If they were sending disease and pestilence and death to you, they die and everything close to them. If they wanted you to be sick and die, that's their lot. And anything else that matters to them. If they were vain and they were worried about their looks and they didn't like how you looked, they didn't like that you were attractive or pretty or something, their looks is going to get hit. Everything that they did with your hair, with your blood, with pictures on their altars, with talisman and vigils, will be done to them. Voodoo dolls, mind control, projecting into the thoughts. They projected their thoughts into your children to use them to do things and say things and to come against you and to cause chaos and conflict. Their mind is now about to be controlled, and chaos and conflict to them. You don't get to do that shit and never pay. And that's exactly what my family thought was going to be for them. That's what my ex thought was going to be for him. And you guys will see the truth. And this not only goes for them, but this goes for any of the practitioners that was jealous of me, that wanted to harvest my energy, that was stalking me equally. This is applying to them as well. Any violations that they partook in towards me, towards my son, towards Bloomful Within Love, that I've created, them being jealous of my creations, them reporting videos, them stalking, them stealing, they're going down as well. You don't get to fuck with people's energy, claiming to be, of the light. Why are you fucking with somebody else's energy then? Because if you were, you would know, you wouldn't have to do that. So then you're exposed by nature of your conduct. Judgment is called. And will be fully executed by the higher realms. And this is so, it's now, and it will always be and continually be. Collective, that is for you too. That's the encouragement I want to provide for you. But I do want to say it's all imperative to you doing the best you know how to yield to your spirit guides and light team. The best you know how. You're not perfect. They are aware of your heart's intentions and every action you take and make in faith towards trying to trust and trying to yield and do what's your guidance is. So it's imperative that you do that, because that's where your safety is. That's where your healing is going to be. And that's where they're going to allow everything to come full circle. And that's where all of the stuff is going to cease and break, and you get your recompense. All the things people did to you is a curse on their head. They wanted you pinned down. They're going to be pinned down in the worst way. They wanted you sick. They're going to be sick. They wanted you in lack. They're in lack. They wanted you to lose. They'll lose. Right? If they held what was yours and all that stuff is so cursed and so torment. And so what's due for you, you get your recompense of every ounce of what these people did. Okay? Your life, your youth, your vitality, your blessings, as you keep on. And even your children, if they were affected, they are being recompensed. Okay? I noticed something about every time that I go on lives, they would sit back and be watching and do stuff towards my son to start tormenting and torturing him and making him sick so they can get some kind of high off of, if they can hear him flipping out in the background or throwing up. They're lunatics. And so I asked my guys, I would do a clearing, and I told my guys, I said, every time they do it, make their severity increase, their punishment, their penalty, make them pay, give them hell. Every single time they do it, every single time they're on my social media, every single time they're on my lives, and they sit in there and they start projecting that energy to me, Bloom from Within Love, my viewers and followers, or my son, I asked my guys, I said, please, in accordance with universal law, amplify karmic ramification instantly in their reality by 1,000 and over where it counts. They're coming for my kid, go for theirs. They're coming for my kid, go for theirs. That's how we have to get. Because if these people don't have no regard for yours, you sure enough don't need to have no regard for theirs. They drain your child of their resources and their energy. So let it be to them. People like that have to understand cause and effect. You don't get to just sit back and decide you want to sacrifice and use somebody like their parts. So every time, that is my intention for the witch doctors, the practitioners, the tarot readers, psychics, mediums, whether they're connected to my family or not, anybody that's doing that shit on my shit. Anybody coming in with evil eye, anybody coming in word cursing and projecting, I asked my team, I said, call them justice, make it count, hit. You want to keep speaking this shit over this woman and what she's doing on her son? Watch. Watch. You want to keep playing their energy? Okay, watch. Boom. Shatter. Boom. You want to keep stealing? You want to keep projecting toxic energy towards what she's doing to try to tie up her finances? Okay, watch. Set those intentions. It's no more, oh, I wish them well. No, the fuck. Nope, no, the fuck. See, this is what this beautiful soul that I follow talked about with the reason why we have to embody our Hioka, or that dark part. Because they're spending incessant hours upon hours. They do that. You know, people try to get in there and have you doing that. So first and foremost, you can keep sending out energy of, oh, may they be, you know, so that you're oblivious. Them motherfuckers aren't healing. They didn't checked out. They're gone. They're lunatics. Okay? It's no, may they receive what the fuck they do. Simple as that. Law. Cause and effect. Law. May they receive to the full extent what they do. May they receive what the fuck they do. May they receive what they project. May they receive what they invest in. You invested in my death. May they receive their death. You invested in my son's sickness and death. May their children receive it. You invested in attacking my finances. May they receive loss. You projected hate and evil eye and jealousy and word curses. May they receive it. That's where I'm at, and that's where you need to be, collective. And that is not hateful. That is honor. That's justice. Look at what your life and your children has had to suffer as a result of these lunatics. And as you remember that, and as you move forward into the blessings and the goodness and the bliss and all of that, you keep that in mind of what you had to go through and what that process was for you. We are to have healthy boundaries. And a part of the reason why things went the way they went for us is because we came here and we never had any. We never had any. So people felt entitled to us. The lunatics, the narcissistic people, family, lovers, friends, felt entitled to who we were, like we were parts. Who we are, what we do, what we create. With no concern about our well-being, right? Entitled, like you're a part, like you pick a part. Fuck that. They finding out. They asses is finding out now. I remember one of the last conversations I was having with my mom, and when I was telling her off, I said, me and my son are not here. I told her on the phone. I said, we are not here for you. We are not here to cater to you, to be entertainment for you or my sister or anybody else. I told her that. I'm like, we're not here for that. We are here. I remember saying this. I said, we have a right. Me and my son have a right to live and to have a life of our own, free of any fuck shit. I told her that. I said, we have a right to live a life of our own, of abundance and blessings and peace and free of anyone's fuck shit. We had a right to be happy. You know what she said? Nothing. This is when I knew she too was gone. The so-called mom that's trying to go about having y'all convinced that she was just this loving, caring, sacrificial mother. Don't worry. I'll go in on my father soon enough. My guys are already telling me I'm going down the line like a roster and shit. They're going to have me go down the line like a roster. The more people try to fuck with me and my son, the more people try to fuck with Bloom from Within Love that I've created, whether it be by their word curses, putting their mouth on me, whether it be by trying to set me up or sabotage me, whether it be by stealing from me, whether it be by doing spells on me, whether by trying to get people to turn against me. The more people do it, they're giving me a roster. We going down the list, motherfuckers. We going down the list, motherfuckers. So hold on to your seatbelt. All individuals had ample time to be honorable, and they opted to continue to hide and cower, and they opted to do more fuck shit. So that means nobody's going to be the exception. What does she mean by this? It means I'm coming. As my guides tell me. That's what it means. I'm coming. So when they'll say, okay, Brandy, prompt, you're just living life. You're going about skipping in the tulips as I typically do, especially now that I'm out of Sodom. But they're going to say, okay, boom, I'll feel a drop. You got to expose so-and-so. They think they're slick. Church number 100, so, pastor number 33333. Okay, you're going to have to go on in and reveal. Tell the shit on them. Start talking. Reiki Center 555-222, blah, blah, blah. Practitioner number, sa. They're doing some dumb shit. Expose. Tell some shit on them. Sister number 2, stepsister this, brother that. They're up to some fuck shit. Go on there, tell some secrets. Expose. Ex-church friend, whoever you were in groups with online and social media, church affiliates that don't like what you're doing, that you had a history with, or they went off and married someone else and they don't like what you're doing, call them out. Expose their secrets. Because my guys have had enough with people violating my rights and my boundaries and that of my sons and that of what I do and create, which is nobody's goddamn business if they have a problem with it. So they're going to have me go down the roster on motherfuckers. Oh, they're in a group? They're in groups and they're trying to so-called have them a little, okay. Expose them. Tell what you know. Tell their secrets. Tell the family secrets. Oh, cousin, auntie, so-and-so. Oh, that of my sons as well. They ain't escaping either. Whoever the fuck with me and my son and what's mine and keep doing the shit is going to keep getting exposed. And they'll have me do it publicly. I recommend you do the same, collective. And then you'll start to see, and so will everyone else. But we have to embrace that part. Okay, that's called justice. It's called defense. It's called defense. It's called standing up for yourself. It's called exposure. It's called telling the truth. Right? Even now, as they fuck with you, they fuck with your energy. They'll pay. Buy 1,000. Make it happen, light team. On behalf of myself and that of the collective, make it happen. Every time they touch an aura and a chakra, every time they fucking touch and say something, I mean that shit to the 1,000th power. Make it hurt and let it be seen. Justice will prevail. Collective. You got to stay your path. You got to stay in that position. Keep doing that work. Keep handing it over to the higher realms, setting those intentions, doing your part. Okay? And keep at that and then live. And you'll see justice prevail in your life, I promise. I am and will continue to, and so will you. And I am, once again, I am sorry. I just want to keep offering the apology, not that the apologies are needed, but to honor your humanity, to honor the human side of you and what you have gone through. If anything that I've shared is resonating or has resonated with you in your story, I want to just offer that on behalf of myself and on behalf of Source, my spirit guides and ancestors of love and light. Sorry that you experienced such hate and toxicity and malice and wickedness from people that's walking about in the 3D like they're love and light and positive and wonderful and caring, and people are disillusioned by these people. I am sorry that your own bloodline partook in that kind of stuff with your life. I'm sorry you were in the womb of a karmic mother and the seed of a karmic father. I'm sorry you were surrounded by that stuff and that these people do this stuff, but you have the victory. They watch you live and grow and shine and be. And as long as they're breathing, they will. But some of them are about to take their last breath. And they just don't know yet. This will be a shock. Because they took things way too far with you all. So rest assured, collective, balance is being restored.